Hello class, for this assignment, I'm going to show you how to actually read the binomial table. So you already have the binomial table, but let me actually bring it up. So the binomial table, it's actually in Canvas and you read it as follows. It's a little bit confusing, but you're basically pairing up these n values with these probabilities if the probability is less than 0.50. So you're looking at this being one chunk of the problem, and if the probability is greater than 0.50, you're pairing up these probabilities with basically these x's. So you're looking at what's the value of n, what's the value of the probability, because you may be looking at your x's here or your x's there if the probability happens to be greater than or equal to 0.50. All the way to almost 1. Now, let's look at the first one. So the first one is actually saying they want us to find the binomial problem by evaluating the probability of x is equal to 4 among 5 trials and with p is equal to 0.20. So this is example 1 from the previous exercise. Now, this is how you're going to read it. Because the probability is 0.20, you're basically looking at the values on the top. 0.20 is less than 0.50, so you're going to be looking at this column. Now, then your n's are going to be here. And your x's is going to represent the intersection of the following values. So this is 4, this is x is equal to 4, that's 5, and we're looking at the intersection of technically it refuses. Of this specific value. You're actually looking at it here. This one happens to have, I think I need to minimize it a little bit. So this 0.064 happens to have the intersection of n is equal to 5, x is equal to 4, and then technically the value of 0.20. So from the previous answer, we should have gotten 0.0064. So it's this particular one. Let me go back to the file. And it actually matches 0.0064. So once again, because the value of p is 0.20, then you're using the top row and the left column. Now, let's take a look at the second problem. And in the second problem, you're basically evaluating the probability that x is equal to 4, but I modify it with p is equal to 0.70, just so that you guys see the difference. So if you modify it to 0.70, then in this case, you still have n is equal to 5, x is equal to 4, but 0.70 it's at the bottom. So 0.70 happens to be here. Therefore, your x is equal to 4. It's going to be obtained from here, but your x is equal to 4, it's here. So in this case, at 0.70, you're going to be looking at this value here. 0.3602, and it is the intersection of the 0.70, n is equal to 5, but your x's are on this side if the probability is greater than or equal to 0.50. So we're getting 0.3602. The calculator is giving us a actually almost the same, it's just rounding. So 0.36015, and it matches to basically 3 decimals. Now for this exercise, I want you to take a look at the table, and you're submitting these problems into Canvas, 2 pictures. I would suggest that before you post them into Canvas, your actual solution, post it into the Facebook group so we can take a look at your solution.